Have you ever looked up at the night sky and wondered about that distant, shining point of light? What if I told you that one of those points is a world so magnificent, so utterly alien, that it has captivated humanity for thousands of years? Today, we re-embarking on an epic journey to the true jewel of our solar system, the majestic ringed planet, Saturn. Welcome, space explorers, to a voyage across nearly 1 billion miles of space. Our destination is the sixth planet from the Sun, a colossal gas giant that dwarfs our own Earth. Saturn is the second largest planet in our solar system, a swirling, golden behemoth made almost entirely of hydrogen and helium, the very same elements that fuel our Sun. But it's not its size that steals the show. It's the breathtaking, ethereal rings that encircle it, a celestial halo that makes Saturn one of the most recognizable and beautiful objects in the cosmos. Now, Saturn isn't the only planet with rings. Jupiter, Uranus, and Neptune have them too. But they are faint, wispy things, almost invisible compared to Saturn's glorious display. Saturn's rings are, without a doubt, the most spectacular and complex in the entire solar system. They stretch out for hundreds of thousands of miles from the planet's surface, yet they are shockingly thin, in some places only about 30 feet thick. Imagine a sheet of paper the size of a city that's the kind of scale we're talking about. So, what are these incredible structures made of? They are not solid bands, but are composed of billions, perhaps trillions, of individual pieces of ice and rock. These particles range in size from tiny, dust-like grains to chunks as large as a house or even a mountain. They are remnants of a forgotten past. Scientists believe these rings could be the shattered remains of comets, asteroids, or even moons that strayed too close to Saturn and were torn apart by its immense gravitational pull. They are a glittering cosmic graveyard, a beautiful memorial to celestial bodies that met a violent end. As we get closer in our virtual spaceship, we can see the rings are not a single, uniform structure. They are divided into several main groups, known as the A, B, and C rings, with fainter rings further out. Between them are gaps, the most famous of which is the Cassini division, a 3,000-mile-wide gap easily visible from Earth with a good telescope. These gaps are cleared by the gravitational influence of Saturn's many moons, which act like tiny cosmic shepherds, herding the ring particles into their neat, organized lanes. It's a delicate, gravitational dance on a planetary scale. Speaking of moons, Saturn is a king with a vast court of followers. For a long time, Jupiter held the title for the most moons, but recent discoveries have crowned Saturn the new moon king. As of 2023, an astonishing 146 moons have been confirmed orbiting the ringed giant. Each one is a unique world with its own story and its own secrets. Let's visit a few of the most fascinating ones. First up is Titan, Saturn's largest moon and the second largest in the entire solar system, even bigger than the planet Mercury. Titan is an extraordinary place. It's the only moon we know of with a thick, dense atmosphere, even thicker than Earth's. But this atmosphere isn't made of nitrogen and oxygen. It's a smoggy orange haze of nitrogen and methane. Underneath this haze lies a world that is eerily similar to our own, yet profoundly different. It has rivers, lakes, and seas, but they are not filled with water. They are filled with liquid methane and ethane. Imagine standing on the shore of a methane sea, watching ethane rain fall from the sky under a hazy orange glow. The Cassini-Huygens mission, which sent a probe to land on Titan in 2005, gave us our first and only look at this incredible surface. It's a world that could potentially harbor life, but not life as we know it. Then there's Enceladus. This small, icy moon looks like a bright white snowball from a distance, but it holds a spectacular secret. Geysers of water vapor and ice particles erupt from its south pole, spewing material hundreds of miles into space. This indicates that beneath its frozen crust lies a global liquid water ocean. And where there's liquid water, heat from its core, and organic molecules, which have also been detected, there's a tantalizing possibility for life. Enceladus is one of the most promising places in our solar system to search for extraterrestrial organisms. We could also visit Mimas, often called the Death Star moon, because of a giant impact crater that makes it resemble the famous Star Wars space station. Or Iapetus, the two-faced moon, with one hemisphere as bright as snow and the other as dark as coal. Or Phoebe, a captured asteroid or Kuiper belt object that orbits Saturn in the wrong direction, a rogue traveler in this orderly system. Each moon adds another layer of complexity and wonder to the Saturnian system. Life on Saturn itself would be resonating, to say the least. A day on Saturn zips by in just 10.7 hours, one of the shortest in the solar system. This rapid rotation causes the planet to bulge at its equator and flatten at its poles. But a Saturnian year is a very long wait. It takes Saturn 29 Earth years to complete a single orbit around the Sun. That means if you were 29 years old on Earth, you'd only be celebrating your first birthday on Saturn. And here's a fun fact that will blow your mind. Saturn is the only planet in our solar system that is less dense than water. It's a gas giant, but it's an incredibly fluffy one. This means that if you could find a bathtub or an ocean large enough to hold it, Saturn would float. Of course, finding a bathtub that big is a bit of a challenge, but it's a fantastic way to visualize just how light this massive planet is for its size. Saturn isn't a new discovery, because it's one of the 5 planets visible to the naked eye from Earth. It has been known since ancient times. Ancient civilizations, from the Babylonians to the Greeks, tracked its slow, steady movement across the sky. The Romans named it after their god of agriculture and wealth. For millennia, it was just a bright, wandering star. Everything changed in the 17th century with the invention of the telescope. In 1610, the great astronomer Galilei Galilei pointed his rudimentary telescope at Saturn. He was stunned by what he saw. He didn't see rings, not clearly anyway. His telescope wasn't powerful enough. Instead, he described them as handles or ears on the side of the planet. He was baffled. It wasn't until decades later, with improved telescopes, that the Dutch astronomer Christian Huygens correctly identified them as a system of rings. This discovery forever changed our perception of the planets, proving they were not just perfect spheres, but complex and varied worlds. In modern times, our exploration has been led by robotic pioneers. The Pioneer and Voyager spacecraft gave us our first up-close glimpses in the 1970s and 80s, revealing the intricate details of the rings and moons. But the true golden age of Saturn exploration was the Cassini-Huygens mission. From 2004 to 2017, the Cassini spacecraft orbited Saturn, studying the planet, its rings, and its moons in unprecedented detail. It sent back hundreds of thousands of breathtaking images and a treasure trove of data that scientists will be studying for decades to come. Its mission ended in a dramatic, grand finale, plunging into Saturn's atmosphere to avoid contaminating its potentially life-bearing moons. Saturn is more than just a planet. It's a miniature solar system, a dynamic and ever-changing environment. It's a laboratory for understanding how planets form and evolve. It's a source of endless beauty and mystery, a reminder of the scale and grandeur of the universe we live in. From its swirling, stormy atmosphere to its shimmering, icy rings and its diverse family of moons, Saturn challenges our imagination and fuels our curiosity. The next time you have a clear night, try to find that steady, yellowish point of light. Remember that you're not just looking at a planet, you're looking at a world of wonders, a system of countless icy particles dancing in a gravitational ballet, and moons with underground oceans and liquid methane seas. You're looking at Saturn. Thank you so much for joining us on this incredible journey to the ringed planet. If you enjoyed this cosmic adventure, don't forget to hit that like button, subscribe, and ring the notification bell so you don't miss our next voyage into the cosmos. Until next time, keep looking up.